Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Qala rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Today inshallah we'll do lessons from Surah Al-Fajr and then we'll do Surah Al-Balad. And there are 5 to 6 points as far as the lesson is concerned from Surah Al-Fajr. The most important is the time is cutting everyone into two. We are created by the combination of spirit and the body which comes from this dunya, and the spirit comes from heaven. And as soon as we come into existence, although we think that we are growing and we are spending time, but in reality the time is actually start cutting from the very first day we are born till the day we die. Then it will get separated from the spirit and the body will be separate. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is highlighting and asking you to ponder that the thing that's going to matter the most is that you have to purify your spirit. Tazkiyah nafs is the one that you need to do while you are here. Do not make your heart completely black, because the spirit is in your heart, and the food of your spirit, I should say, or the spirit live on divine message, which is Qur'an. For our body needs, we have all kind of foods that we eat. So what shaitan has done here in this day and age, a person is just spending everything, all the energy, all his effort to preserve the body and doing nothing for the spirit. But the message is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala: protect your spirit, purify your spirit. Your body, whatever you do, will disintegrate one day. You will be dead. You cannot save your body. So this is how shaitan has turned the table. Same way shaitan has made people to be going for dunya and forgetting the akhirah. On the other hand, Allah is saying, do everything for akhirah. You will be nafsul mutmainna. You need to be the peaceful spirit for akhirah. So we need to think and ponder. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlighted the examples. The previous nations, they didn't think and ponder. Although they have all kind of worldly means, Allah destroyed them. And if we don't think and ponder and correct our actions, our fate, na'uzubillah, will be the same. The prescription for nafsul mutma'inna is taslim and raza. That means absolute obedience and thankfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then your nafs will be mutma'inna. Realizing the reality. The reality is, we are not here in this dunya forever. We are here for a temporary time, very, very stipulated time, and that we don't even know when that time will gonna be up. If that realization sets in, then it is only then you will correct your action for akhirah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Kalla iza dukkatil ardu dakkan dakka. Whatever you are holding is going to be destroyed. Whatever you give it to Allah, that will be safe. So instead of you looking at your bank balance and looking at your properties and looking at your ownership of whatever Allah has given you, you give it away. You just give it away. That is the way you will save whatever you can save. Allah has given you this milkiya of anything in this dunya for a very, very stipulated time. So please realize, ponder and correct your action. So we will start Surah Al-Balad now. Surah Balad is also a Makki surah, very powerful surah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again is mentioning oath, but this time it is mentioning in a different way. Just like La uqsimu bi yawmil qiyamah, we have already read in the past. And this la that used in this kinds of qasam is to silence, meaning it is such a terrifying thing to realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying from the heavens that stop your discussion, stop your arguments, stop your debate. I take a oath for this city. This is the way that Allah is saying, and people who only listen this, who have realization. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the highest act of goodness is that you feed people, you save people's neck, and you make sure that you practice mercy. You have to make sure that you show patience. But the highest of all good is you do everything to protect the humanity, but the highest of all good is bring them to Iman and bring to Iman. Because if you do not have true Iman, all your goodness will be wasted. So another very important aspect in the Makki surahs are the focus is the goodness to the humanity, which when you profess La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, you have to show this mercy for everyone, even for the animals. And the highest goodness and highest mercy that you can do is to save someone from hellfire. So if a Muslim is not doing it, and a Muslim is not showing mercy, and a Muslim is not doing patience, then the example is just like a security guard who's supposed to protect you. He is conspiring with the thieves and making you to have in your house have a successful robbery. So how much punishment you will give it to him? So that's why when we profess La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we Muslims, we have tremendous responsibility on our shoulders, because we have sell our prestige, we have sell our money, we have sell our honor, everything for the sake of Jannah. So we have to be the one that needs to tell people that the importance of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. For that we need to feed people, we need to make sure we save them, we need to make sure we establish law and order and justice, and we need to make sure after all doing this, tell them the best mercy and comfort I can do for you is to make you safe from hellfire. And people will listen. They revert or not, it's in Allah's hand. And for that Allah is showing that all the humanity has two ways, two roads. One road is going towards Jannah, the other road is going towards Jahannam. Whosoever you want to pick, you can pick. And then in this surah it is also mentioned about the issue of the behavior of a person, which highlighted in the previous surah when he was saying يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي قَدَّمْتُ لِحَيَاتِي. The answer comes in Surah Al-Balad, and the answer is يَقُولُ أَهْلَكْتُ مَالَ اللُّبَدَ. Allah is giving him so much money and he burned all the money in foolish things. So after this introduction we will start Surah Balad, and A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. La uqsimu bihazal balad wa anta hillum bihazal balad. So Allah says that I take an oath, and this la is for negation for all this discussion and debate that has been going on about the city of Makkah. And Allah says wa anta hillum bihazal balad, and this has been interpreted in two ways, that this city of Makkah, where our beloved messenger is born and where our beloved messenger is living right now, where the kuffars are torturing him and making him his life so hard because he is bringing people and calling people for La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, they reach to a point now, these kuffars, that they are planning, na'uzubillah, to have an assassination of our beloved prophet, and they have already chalked out the plan. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning in this ayah and giving also the information ahead of time to our beloved messenger, but also Allah is actually giving a glad tiding in it, because exegetes have says that in this anta hillum bihazal balad is also that this city is sacred. Makkah is sacred. There should be no bloodshed in it. It is prohibited. even the Arabs of Jahiliyyah, these leaders of Makkah and this Quraysh, they knew that there should be no bloodshed. But in the animosity and the opposition of beloved messenger, they are willing to break their own laws which they have made. So Allah is giving this glad tidings to our beloved messenger that there is a day coming. On that day Allah will make the city halal for you in a way that the bloodshed will be allowed, because you have to purify this city from all kind of worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is happening right now, the idol worshipping. So Allah also give Rasulullah the information about the plan of kuffars, and also give his plan or his glad tidings that you will be successful. You will be one day coming in this city as the sort of conqueror of this city for that one day when Allah make it halal for you, and it happens in Fatah Makkah. This is also very profound ayah, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that there are two ways that has been interpreted this ayah. That one is Adam alayhi salam is the father of the whole humanity, and it's the father and the son. The second way is that when a father has a son, the father has to do a lot of toil for the son to bring him up. But the most important one is the one that Allah saying that the father of this city is Ibrahim alayhi salam. And through Ibrahim alayhi salam is Ismail alayhi salam, and now is Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is in the progeny, in the lineage of Ismail alayhi salam. Those two, meaning father and son, now father is Ibrahim and the son is Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are on the right path. But most of the Arabs have now completely gone astray. So Allah take these three qasams, and then Allah says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, we have created human in a toil. And the toil is that he is always worrying. He has to make sure that he needs to work hard. Everyone has some kind of thing that bothering him, some kind of thing that he has to do. There is some assignment for every nafs that is in this world. And this is how Allah has created. Someone has to work hard, someone has to work for mental work, someone has to protect this city, somebody has been doing something else, but everyone has a job assignment that Allah has already destined. And it's a very tough toil. You have to go through it. You cannot just leave it alone. Even if you have all the money, you have worry about you're going to lose your money. Then Allah says, أَيَحْسَبُ أَن لَّن يَقْدِرَهُ عَلَيْهِ أَحَدٌ. That all this toil that this human is doing, which is such a very hard work, he think that he will be left alone and nobody will gonna ask him. There is no accountability whatever he wants to do, because the people who had been mentioned before, the one who do tagaw and fasad, they also behaving in this way, meaning they are doing all the toils to create the evil on the land and to make sure they are the worst transgressors. So Allah is saying that they think that nobody is gonna do an accountability to them. And why they are doing? Because Allah says, يَقُولُ أَهْلَكْتُ مَالًا لُبَدًا. Because Allah is giving them so much money that He is just abusing His money. Most important is in the opposition of the messenger as well as in opposition of the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Still now, these forces of evil is spending millions and millions of dollars to make sure that there should be no peace in a way that people can sit and listen to the truth. This is how it is. And on that day, that person will gonna say that I just burn all my money. So then Allah also mentioned here, أَيَحْسَبُ أَن لَّمْ يَرَهُ أَحَدٌ. First of all is, there should be no accountability. The second is that when he was doing all this burning of the wealth that Allah is giving him, wasting all his wealth and time and energy, He was thinking that nobody is looking at him. And then Allah give this again logical thinking, intellectual talk for a person, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always sort of awakening your senses. This Qur'an is like that. It talks to you. So Allah says, how can he think when he is burning all his wealth, wasting his time? People go and do gambling, they waste their wealth. Allah says, Alam naj'al lahu aynayn. Didn't he realize that someone has given him this eyesight that he is seeing? So the one who has given him eyesight, isn't that he is seeing him? وَلِسَانٌ وَشَفَتَيْنِ. And then he was calling everybody that he is burning all his, sort of wasting everything, and he is using his tongue, although Allah is giving him the lips to control the tongue. The first one. And this is also something that people should realize, that if they keep their lips closed, that will save them with so many of troubles in this dunya and hereafter. Because there is a beautiful hadith of Rasulullah that if you give me the guarantee for the tongue, which is in between your teeth and which is in between your legs, I will give you guarantee for Jannah. So Allah is saying, وَلِسَانُ وَشَفَتَيْنِ. But he didn't kept this tongue behind his lips. He keep on using it, well, misusing it. Now here the subject change. Allah says, وَحَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ. After doing all that, Allah took the oaths, and Allah described that in what toil Allah has created, that everybody has to do some toils, but Allah is giving the direction that what toil you will be doing, you should be doing. The toil is وَحَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ. Two mountains that is Allah is showing in this picturization. One mountain, the initial ascent is very easy. The mountain which is evil, meaning the highway which is going to a hilly resort, the initial ascent is very easy. If you go on it and keep going on it, then your life becomes difficult and difficult. But on every step, there is a warning coming to you that you are going on a path of destruction. You are going on a path of destruction. And you ignoring it because you are fulfilling your desires and you are enjoying everything, and you think that you have been, no one is watching you and there is no accountability. So at the end, when you will see, what you will see, Yawma izin bi Jahannam, you don't have to blame anyone else but you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have the judge. You chose that highway, and that highway I have written on every, sort of every foot there was a, message for you that this is a highway of destruction, but you don't care. You were just happy because you are fulfilling your desires. So you have to blame yourself. So people who are going to Jahannam, they should not be blaming anyone else except themselves. On the other hand, the other highway or the other way going to the mountain, which is initially the ascent is very difficult. The ascent is very difficult. If you ascend on that mountain, you need a lot of support, you need a lot of help, you need a lot of patience, you need a lot of focus and realization. But if you ascend that few steps initially which were difficult, then Allah will make it very easy for your ascent. And you will be where? Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutmainna. You will be on a place where you will be just in a blessings and blessings and blessings. The other way that has been interpreted this ayah is وَهَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ فَلَقْتَحَمَ الْعَقَبَةَ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْعَقَبَةُ فَكُّ رَقَبَةٍ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that there are two ways. One is good and one is evil. And Allah is saying, do you know that what is this, the low-lying area, or the, I should say the trench in the mountain that you need to cross? And then Allah asked the question, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْعَقَبَةُ, that what is this that you are trying to cross? What is that difficult pass that you have to do? And Allah is asking, what is that difficult pass? وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْعَقَبَةُ. What is the difficult thing that is making you unaware to pass that difficult pass? فَكُّ رَقَبَةٍ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now saying that you can pass that pass or that trench, that first is that you have to spend money to free the slaves. Number two, أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة, and you have to feed people who are hungry day and night, or you have to feed people. Yatiman za maqraba, and you have to really take care of the orphan who is also related to you. Aw miskinan za matraba, and also someone who is a beggar and who is destitute. Summa khana min allazina amanu wa tawasaw bis sabri wa tawasaw bil marhama. And then after doing that, you have to bring, or you need to do, professing of Iman, the true Iman, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. When you do that, then you should be with the group of people who is doing this work, freeing the slaves, feeding the people, taking care of the orphan, taking care of the destitute. Then you have to do it with patience, because you have to give sacrifice. And you have to make sure you show mercy to everyone. Again, the word mercy came here again. That Muslims are the one who have this responsibility, that they have to take it as a responsibility to feed people and to invite them towards the truth, because the ultimate safety that you can provide to someone is safety from hellfire. And for that you need a lot of patience and a lot of mercy. You have to forgive people. You need to forgive people. And there is another very important message in these ayat, is that the most important hindrance in someone coming close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is love of money. وَتُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ حُبًّا جَمًّا. This is something which will not gonna let you work going close to Allah. This is the sort of, like, means if you are ascending on a mountain and actually your handbrake is up, your car will not gonna go. This is the brake you need to let go. That means you have to let your money spend in these goodness, freeing the slaves, feeding the people, making sure that you take care of the orphan, making sure that you take care of the destitute. Once you start doing that, everything will become easy for you. And this is only been accepted. The another way that has been interpreted is, in this day and age, that all this goodness will only be good if you have Iman. If you do not have Iman and you are doing all these good things, Allah will reward you in this world, but you have nothing in Akhirah. The reward in Akhirah is tied with your Iman. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. A lot of people are doing a lot of goods. Bill Gates is doing, and so many other people are doing. But in reality, if they do not believe, their goodness is for here. And Allah will reward them. Allah already rewarding them. Whatever way, they think for this dunya, that they have so much of this dunya. So the reality is, the most important aspect is, when a Muslim do something for the society, then the ultimate goal is to bring dawah, to bring it to the realization that they have to come in the circle of Iman, come in the circle of Islam, to make sure they will be protected from a day which no one can help no one. And if you are able to do so, Allah will reward you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, these people who are doing that and also have Iman, what they're going to happen to them? Ulaika ashabul maimana. These people will be on the right side. And maimana means extreme right. They will be in the sort of the elite group which is going first everywhere. On the other hand, people who are doing Ballazina kafaru bi ayatina hum ashabul mashama. Now, the falsifying of ayat is everywhere. Allah says it is the responsibility of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show a person the ayat. That means realization. Ayat is right around you. Day and night is an ayah. The sun, when you see, is an ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a sign. Your own life, your vision, your heart which is beating and is not getting tired is a sign that this is Allah has created this part of the body which doesn't get tired. But these people deny the ayat of Allah, so what their end will be? Their end will be Ulaika Ashabul Mashama. They will be among the left group in the left. And what happened to the group of left? Alayhim Narum Musada. They will be put in a pressure cooker and just basically roasted. Alayhim Narum Musada means the fire will be closed on them. They will put in somewhere in a valley, in hellfire, and the fire will be closed on them. So imagine how much intensity of heat that they will be burning. May Allah save them. May Allah save us. So we have to realize that this is truth, absolute truth that has been mentioned. You need to correct your action, realizing that this is not something like a story which all the kuffars has been mentioning to Rasulullah Qalu Asatirul Awwaleen, that this is Qur'an, this is absolute truth. Someone has to work hard to save himself from the hellfire. So we'll stop here. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.